Right, what a lovely morning. It is a Tuesday, the 5th of, that is the month of March, and it's also the month of women, and that is when we are going to be celebrating. That's Women's Day, which only happens to be a few days from now, which will be on the 8th, and which is a Friday. I must say, I must wish that is our mothers happy Women's Day, our sisters, not forgetting other women out there. And really within this week also we are celebrating instrumental women who are doing something really to also transform the society. And really, as I said earlier on at the beginning of the week, we shall be picking them from each sector. And really yesterday we did have one from education. We shall be also having one in politics, another in business, but today really we are having one in religion. And in most cases people think being a religious leader you must be a man, but really there are those now who are beating the odds, and we have seen them doing actually what men can do, and we have seen them doing it better off. And I must say, really, this is one thing we must be celebrating them for. And really, today I do have one, and she will be able to also really introduce herself best to you this morning. But really, from wherever you're watching us from, I must say, it's a very, very good pleasure having you on board. And really, you can also really share your comments with us. For those of you watching us via YouTube, you can drop your comments there, and not forgetting those watching us via Facebook, and as well as those catching us, that is on X, which is formerly known as Twitter. You can also really as well drop your comments there on the various social media handles, and trust me, we shall be able to sort of share them with the rest of the viewers. But for now, allow me, without wasting any more time, I'll invite our guest, and she is none other than ALBR LIMIO AVI, and she is the Archdeacon, that is Arua Archdeaconry under Giaco. Really, I must also really take this opportunity now to welcome her. I hope I did pronounce the name very well.
Yes,
if
please.
I'm not mistaken, then maybe
Thank
you also
you.
really tell the viewer who you are. But it's
Yes.
a great pleasure having you on board.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Viewers, good morning. It's a great pleasure to be here on West Nile TV. I'm so grateful. My name has been well pronounced. Venerable ALBR LIMIO AVI, the Archdeacon of Arua Archdeaconry, where I have over 24 parishes to oversee and 85 churches. It is a great opportunity to be here and to share our life and the ministry together with you. Thank you so much, presenter.
Yes. Without wasting any time, please, if you can be able to take us through your journey. I know you must have had something that could have inspired you. And what is that? And how has the journey been, being a religious leader and being an archdeacon for all these years, where you have over 16 parishes? How has the journey been? Over 24 parishes, I mean. How has the journey been, and how is it going on? I do understand you're still having a long way in terms of going with this.
Yes.
Maybe first take us through the journey of how it has been, that is being in the leadership of God, where you dedicate most of your time to God, and really, how has it been, and what, and where do you see yourself maybe in the next coming years?
Yes. Thank you very much, listeners. It has been a great opportunity for me to be in the sector of religion, but above all, to be ordained priest. The journey has been so long. It started way back 2000 when I joined ordained ministry after my senior 6. I joined the Christian University. That's where I've learned. And I got ordained in 2005, which was opportunity for me, a deacon, and served as a curate in Moyo Town Parish. That's my first parish where I served for 3 years. And then it was a great work, learning, experience, excitement, also challenges. But the Lord pushed me through. It was well, because the focus is there. And 2009, I was brought in St. Philip's.
Okay. So that is where you are up to now?
No.
Okay.
Yes, so in St. Philip's, I served for 7 years as assistant vicar.
Okay.
It was a wonderful experience. I got exposed, and when people were able to get touched, I love ministry, especially with young people who are flowing in mission, in prayer ministry, in administration, and up to today, when you get to St. Philip, you'll hear about Reverend ALBR LIMIO AVI.
Okay, maybe if I may be able to ask, what motivated you in wanting to serve God?
It is the call of God, I say.
Okay.
Because I had this call in a dream that I was challenged, that I was a little bit jumpy when I was in Senior 4 in Kampala. But God spoke to me in scripture, and that scripture I'll never forget. It is in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18 to 20, which talked about some of you are so stubborn. Do you want me to come to you by whip or with a gentle spirit? The kingdom of God is not of talks but power. And you are supposed to stand for this. So that I kept that voice. One time I was complaining in our local church because of what is happening in the church. The altar is not well set. People who are not saved are one leading the service. So I was complaining inside my heart in the church. And immediately when I was grumbling, I had a voice telling me, why are you grumbling? Why can't you give your life? Why don't you give yourself if you want something to be done right? Yeah, so that has been that journey. And I kept that call, and it worked for me. And it is not somebody, because where I came from, Ajumani, I'm somebody, I'm Madi from Ajumani.
Okay.
So I came in the area where I was not aware that even there is female clergy, because we are dominated with Roman Catholic. So I didn't know anything concerning that. I studied in Kampala, yes, but I never encountered female clergy. And I never even stepped in a room. I don't know anything. But that spirit was so strong. So when I inquired, that's when God gave me opportunity to go for training. I did training for 5 years for me to be ordained. And since then, I never really regretted.
That's where I was actually coming to. I know the journey must be that, could not never be a smooth one. Maybe you had some challenges here and there when you were trying to do. Well, maybe what are some of the challenges and how did you encounter them?
The challenges that first of all, people do not believe that I'll make it. That was the first challenge. I remember on the day of my ordination, you know, when you are in Madiland, people associate our people, our region, with drinking. So they said, you have come to this ministry. We thought you are not going to lie and start drink. And the bishop telling me that, the one who lay hand on me. But I smiled off because I know who I am. Yeah, with all that challenges, I believe I'll stand. And some challenges what you find is sometimes the understanding. Somebody cannot understand you well. But I love one thing with me, I carry my challenge by prayers. I pray a lot. I do a lot of prayer. Yes, so that the will of God should be established. Yes.
Just like you doing a lot, maybe when it comes to prayers, you know the society very, very much also needs your support. Apart from prayers, maybe what are some of the things that religious leaders do out there, maybe to help society? Because really today you realize that a lot of young people are going through a lot of challenges. That is why we are seeing challenges of suicide cases increasing, where we are seeing cases of criminality also increasing. And I do very much believe religious leaders can do a lot when it comes to solving, maybe also reducing some of these cases. As religious leaders, what are some of the tasks that you do, maybe apart from that is the normal preaching? I believe you have a lot to do. Maybe what are some of the tasks under your faith that maybe you're doing to see that you help the society?
One thing is I'm so passionate with the discipleship. Trying to see if we get the young people and talk to them, love them. Love them as they are, don't condemn them. Sometimes when I move around for my pastoral duties, I stop the car, I come out. When I find them gathered on the streets, as usual, I talk to them, I pray with them. Sometimes you get these ones with the marung in their hands, with the alcohol in the hand, I embrace them. So those are things, drawing closer to them, not condemning them. It's what is my passion. Above all, the talking to the parents, because everything starts with the parents. When parents are available in the lives of their children, we're able to have fellowship with them in their homes, able to help in one way or the other, provide their needs, speak to them. But unfortunately, parents are not at home. Most of them come home very late. They arrive when the children are most likely sleeping. They don't have time because they feel they are looking for their needs. So for me, everywhere I go, I speak out for the young generation, especially this time a boy child, because a boy child is so much left out. Sometimes I look at, I say now, 20 years to come, or 10 years or 15 years, where will our daughters have husbands? Because if they are all that in the street, they are not really, not even in church. Sometimes you find few who are in the choir, the rest are out the street. So it pains. So the one thing is to speak to them, to love them, to disciple them. Even when we have mission like this, we don't neglect them. Because once you neglect them, you'll have lost. Once you judge them, they'll not be available. Okay. So they need a soldier to lean on. Okay. That's the challenge. You know,
one person out there may want to become a religious leader just like you. This is most of the females out there. And some of them could be fearing because, you know, the stereotypes, sometimes people fear becoming religious leaders because there are certain things said that this, if you're going to become a leader, this is not going to be happening to you. You'll not be allowed to do this. So many are left out because of those fears. Maybe what message do you have for that one person who still has the dreams but is not certain of what exactly to do and maybe where exactly to go to in terms of wanting to serve God? I do understand there are so many people out there who may want to help the society by really becoming religious leaders, but the fear is what is really putting them out. Maybe one message do you have for that group that really is yet in that fear?
One thing is, for you to come in this, you must receive a call. When you receive that call, you are able to keep this call in your heart, and you give yourself wholly to Him. One, accept Christ as your personal Savior, because He gives us grace for His Spirit to guide us in the journey. And two, when you come to this ministry, you don't depend on your God. The one who called you faithful, and He will see you through. And the three, when you know, there are times that hard times will come, but you'll overcome them when you're obedient to the one who called you. And the leaders, the leadership, you must also align yourself to the leadership. You keep, the call comes when you're able to have the conviction. Then it will be easier for you to stand. And many times people thought, when you come, how will I meet my needs? People in the church, one of my uncle.
I was actually coming that. Did you face rejection or resistance
when I came to inform my uncle that I'm going for this course in the Ghana Christian University? He looked at me, he said, Alba, are you sure that you want to go for this call you are talking about? Do you know that? He mentioned something. Church of Uganda, we are poor. I paused and I told him, Uncle, we can be poor as you think, but we have faith. We are living by faith, not by sight. So that's what I told him.
What about the parents? How were they about this message when you brought it to them?
They were excited. They were excited to see that I'm able to push through there. They are happy. They were encouraging me. So the challenge I had, it was paying tuition, but God intervened. I was able to finish successful.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is how you have gone with that journey.
Yes.
And then maybe that there could have been something, that one unique thing that really you feel very happy about becoming a religious leader. What is that one thing that makes you excited?
I relate with people freely.
Okay.
Wherever I go, the part of this country, even some places, because I get opportunity to travel. I went to Israel twice. So to me, that is a place where I laid my feet, the place where the Savior is born. I reached there, reached the tomb and all those places I lived. And it was exciting for me. Two, it gave also for me friendship. I have friends all over. Whenever I step in a place, I will not fail to get friends.
Okay.
To me, that is very exciting. And above all, the faith, ministering, seeing souls win for Christ is very important for me.
Okay.
I think that's the thing which I think unique to me.
Maybe, do you have any regrets of serving the Lord?
Never.
Okay.
I never have regret, and I will not.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, we are living in a society that is a bit cosmopolitan, where we're having so many the people of different races, people of different religions, but all of them have to work together. And being religious leaders, you have a lot when it comes to working with this, maybe these various religious leaders, or maybe people who belong to these various religions. Maybe what is that one thing that really you maybe see it as unique, but you peruse through it? Because we are having a society where Muslims sometimes also come to your service, and that is something I cannot deny, because we have seen it happening. Then we also see Muslims, sometimes Christians going to Muslim maybe leaders, and all of them have to maybe also help these members out. In your faith, and do you also receive such cases? And then how do you treat them maybe?
Very much. I look at that unity in diversity, where we have one goal, and we have to stand by that. Somebody has believed on something, you do not undermine that. So we are created by image of God, and we are serving God, whatever kind, so long as you are focused and you have love in your heart, you will always embrace this person. Yes, so for me, having time or going to the places, it's not a problem, because it is God who called us to serve humanity.
Okay.
Yes.
That is very true. And then maybe there's this one thing that people have been saying, if we are to attain certain things, religious leaders must be involved. Leaving religious leaders out maybe could be a mistake. We have seen this happening, maybe with the PDM, where we have been moving. Most cases people have been saying, if at all we are to use the religious leaders to spread this gospel, that would be quite good. But then, before we get in that discussion, we have also seen that maybe there's this observation that has been made within the gospel music. I don't know if you're a fan of gospel music, because I personally am a fan of gospel music, but people have said the kind of music has very much changed. Maybe under your faith, do you also use maybe that same type of music, or there are some limitations to what kind of music that we are really also supposed to listen to? Because right now they have mentioned songs of which I will not be able to mention them there. But do you maybe use the same kind of gospel to bring the people close to God?
The gospel music that comes depends on how it is presented. Because it is supposed to have life change, especially as Christians. Whatever music that we receive or play to us, it must change life. So in my faith or in my understanding, yeah, some music which sounds gospel, but in reality, you don't get any meaning. Something that can bring you spiritually, it's not there. So when those things are there, of course you can say, no, please, let's slow down.
Okay.
Yeah, let's slow down. Because the music must give us that inspiration, connecting you to God and for His purpose.
Okay. So I was earlier on connecting that to maybe these government interventions.
Yes.
Are you people also involved in them, and how are you also ensuring that you help government in undertaking certain maybe government goals? For instance, right now, government of Uganda has rolled out several poverty eradication initiatives, and all these are to ensure that the masses, whom in most cases the ones that rush to church, are helped. Because if you realize the people who go to mosques and churches, you realize that mostly it is the vulnerable that really is so much dedicated to God. And how are you helping them maybe in terms of this government eradication programs that are to really also improve on their livelihoods? Do you have measures maybe through talking to them in the churches or in the mosques? Are there provisions that religious leaders that you also really also give that time for government to ensure that maybe these dreams are realized?
Thank you very much. You know, when we're talking about government, government is the people. And these people are in the church, everywhere or in the mosques, and they're in our hands. There is no way you can leave information which is presented to us by the government. Even myself, I need that PDM because I'm also part of the government.
Okay.
So there is a serious connection between the church. Everything starts with the church and it goes out. After even the people who are leading us, they come from different churches. So any information by the government must be disseminated down to the grassroots and living. We are the mouthpiece for that. So long as that thing cannot damage the community, we are there to support. So there is no problem with that.
Okay. Yes. So meaning government has been giving you that room? Because mostly where we have been going to, people have been saying most of the leaders are not involved. Had they been involved, we would maybe see government achieving this, maybe that. But anyway, leave that aside now. Maybe if you can really also take us how maybe this journey has been for you in the last, I don't know how long you have been.
Yes.
Has it been a smooth one? Has the journey been rough? Or do you see it very well? Is it on a smooth ground? That is also something maybe I would also want to know about. And then I will be able to come with other questions later on.
Okay. Thank you very much. This journey, the journey I have right now where I am, it's 19-year journey. It has been with hurdles, but God being faithful was able to take me through in all that. You know, whenever you are in a position, you will not fail to face challenges.
Okay.
But that challenges becomes opportunity. So long as the focus is there, so long as God is on your side, you will always make through. Just keeping faithful to Him, praying to Him, getting guidance from Him, and living your life with the people, you will always overcome the challenges that comes. So it is a 19 years old journey. I went through as from curate to assistant vicar, and then a parish priest also, and then finally an archdeacon.
Okay.
So that is a journey.
Okay.
Yes.
I know that journey must be a long one. 19 years is not easy. And how many are you maybe in serving God? Because really to identify one religious leader as a female, it is usually a hard task. But I don't know how many numbers you're having, and then are you maybe excited about the numbers? Maybe in terms of females serving God.
Yes, because for the 19 years I lived in this full-time ministry, I saw women handling the affairs of the church with passion. So we are many, like now archdeacons, we are 3 female archdeacons in West Nile. Now others, the female clergy in different place offices, we are over 33 in Mad West Nile.
But that number seems to be low.
That is we call it low. Yeah, it's called among the male counterparts. You can say it's low. Okay. But to us, it is joy to serve. It's joy. That number to us is a joy to serve because we saw the evidence, we saw every goodness of the Lord in our lives. And when I took now all over Uganda, we are 546 because I've been the region coordinator for the female clergy in the northern region. So we have 5 different, and then we have even provost, who is a female. We have doctors, those who are, they are really in the service. So to me, we are not few, we are many.
Okay.
Because during those years, women are not regarded to this ministry. So to me, it is a blessing. I do not count ourselves, we are few, or I believe we are hardworking.
Okay.
Yes.
Meaning that you deserve to be celebrated, and really that is one reason also we are celebrating, that is the Women's Month, and that is why this entire week has been dedicated to females, really to also come and share with us their experiences in the various fields, and today in the region, I know you, the viewer, is also really enjoying the show, and you can really drop your comments there in terms of what message, or maybe one comment, or maybe also if you have any submission. It could be a comment, it could be a question. You can really also drop it via our various social media handles. For those of you watching us on Facebook, you can drop the comments there. Not forgetting those of you watching us via YouTube, as well as you can drop your comments there. And those catching us via X, that is the intellectuals, I do understand that the middle class is very, very much on X, and that is where they say they are. you can also really as well drop your comments there, and we shall be able to read them lively and clearly. And now we are just remaining with, that is about 3 minutes, that is to 8 a.m. and at 8 a.m. we are still continuing, and really we have other topics and really also other issues to let you know. But maybe as I can be able to ask, that is our guest, that is Reverend, that is Archdeacon, that is Avi. You may forgive me if I pronounce the name, Avi. And really also to tell us maybe what challenge the church is facing today in terms of bringing, maybe in terms of producing more female clergy. Maybe what challenge are we going with the society? Because really we are living in a society where so many things are happening today, where the girl child has also been very, very much involved in early pregnancy, school dropouts. All these challenges must be contributing. Maybe it's certain thing that we are not aware of. Maybe what is that one challenge that you're facing as church, or maybe church, in terms of producing more female clergy, and what can be done to also avoid this challenge?
One thing is the fear. Most of young ladies, when they felt joining this call, sometimes they are not sure, especially when you are single, whether you are going to get married. Yes, because some people think when you are there, you cannot get married. That's one. Two, sometimes financial constraints, because there are people who are supposed to support them, they needed support, and if they are not supported, they don't feel to be part of the ministry. And then the third one is, as you said, girl child drop up. It's very high, and you find people undermine themselves. They feel now they cannot gather their pieces together so that they can be able to serve God. Those might be the challenge, but above all, the call is not common. When you come just because you admired, like now I'm here on TV, you admire me and then you want to come, you don't have a call, you may fail to stand the pressure. Because the call needs faithfulness. You have to be faithful, you have to be patient, you have to be obedient, you have to be trusting God, that in every steps that you move. So it is not a matter of just like school, going to school. In the one morning you wake up and many children are going to school, not like that. Okay. So that the very important thing is a call.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Maybe when we return back from the break, you will be able to talk more about the issue that is of the fear that is among the members of the society. For instance, in relation to not getting married, that has always been there. Because if you tell somebody that, if somebody tells you that he or she wants to become a religious leader, in most cases what we rush is most about becoming a priest. You usually say, hey, you don't want to get married. So you're going to just remain like that. Is the fear that has always been there. Maybe you will be able to clarify more about that when we return back from the short commercial break. And you as the viewer, if you really also have something that you can contribute towards the show, you can really drop your comments there and we shall be able to read them loudly and clearly. But for now, it's a short commercial break, and when we return back, she will be able to tell us more about the fears and how true maybe the issue of people not getting married is. And at times also have cases that at times where people have been telling us that maybe you can choose to become a religious leader for a certain period of time, and then afterwards you can maybe also get married. And she will be able to really also explain that more in the coming hour, that is of 8, that up to 9, that is when she will be able to really also come and let us know of all these fears that has been among the members of the public. For now, it's a short commercial break. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on Star Times. Star Times brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live. live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. We are yet continuing with the Kokoliriko live show each and every Mondays to Fridays. That is from 7 a.m. up to 9 a.m. and we are still discussing, that is, as we celebrate women, and this week we are celebrating women who are serving God, and that is the clergy. And today I do have, that is Reverend Archdeacon Avi, and we are still sharing experience that is in serving God for all the 16 years that she has been doing that. And really, I do understand that 16 years is just not 19 years is just not very few, and these are very, very many years. And really, this must also really come with some dedication, and which she has told us it is the calling of God, and that is the one reason as to why she is there. So I think before you take any path, usually you must also really know why you want to become that, and is that the calling God wants for you? And really, that is something that we are yet following up on. And before we did go for the break, we were discussing issues that is in fears, because sometimes many people want to become religious leaders, more so those who are affiliated with the Christianity faith, they would want to become, that is, religious leaders, but the fear of them not getting married has always been something that has been putting most of them out, because they are saying, I cannot become a religious leader because I would also want to have my family. And we have seen at times some of them actually maybe getting married, having their own family. This is the clergy, and really if she can be able to guide us more about that, such that that one person who has been in doom, just like me, about this issue, can also be able to really know more about it. But Madam, you're welcome back from that short commercial break. And now this issue has always been there. Maybe how can you guide us about this issue of people not getting married?
Thank you very much. Marriage is ordained by God. There is no question about it. If God has given you opportunity to marry, when ordained, it's well. But if God has made you to stand also for celibacy, where you cannot marry, it's also well. But the very important thing is, what is your call when you are called? I believe when God called you, he has purposed something for you, especially in the area of marriage. I came in this ministry when I'm not married. I was single. I served for 5 to 6 years. And then I came and got married even when I was in St. Philip's. So it is all about the calling of God in your life. If you are called to serve God when married, be it. So anyone who is outside there thinking when you ordain you will not get married, that's a lie. You can get married. So long as God gives you the man or the woman of your heart, you can get married and you can live happy life together and have children where God ordained for you. And 2, marriage is not about jumping to things. You have to wait upon the Lord. You wait upon the Lord, praying, inquiring him if he can give you a person that you can serve together with, that you remain faithful together with. So outside there, let the issue of marriage not stop you for coming for ministry. Come as you are. God will sort you out. That's what I can encourage you.
Okay. Maybe for those who have heard that clearly, God will hear you, so you need not to really also have the fears of maybe I'm not going to get married, I'm not going to be doing this. It is now clear that you can actually get married despite all these odds, and that is one thing I love about serving God. Really, you really intend to maybe also really attain a lot, maybe in terms of getting knowledge, because as a religious, you are not only entitled to what you're doing, maybe serving God alone. You play a great role in terms of guidance, counseling. In most cases, we see poor problems are very much advised to rush out to their religious leaders. And we are living in an era where so many people are having conflicts, maybe from marriages, among families, where we are seeing children also having problems among themselves. In most cases, they look up to those religious leaders. And really, this is also something that we are yet seeing, that really, maybe, do you also receive such cases, and how do you maybe guide them is something also really we need to know?
Yes, those cases.
People rush out to you for help.
Yeah, for help. We receive them a lot. I receive them. I just give them time to listen, a listening ear, and then a shoulder for them to cry, to lean, yes. You know, there is always, especially in the family life, there is challenges. But when you have that challenge, where do you turn? You turn to God. And as religious leaders, our work is to encourage, not to frustrate. To encourage and also step in and listen. Give them a journey. You walk with them with the tears. And then till they come out of that challenge. Sometimes it takes long, but sometimes it works very fast. But above all, the scripture of God, which is given to us, that is a weapon that you can use. And faith. Then too, there is an aspect of trust. I know in the challenge, families especially, when there is mistrust, that's where the challenge now comes. But in all that, you will lay eye on your issues. With God, all is possible. You can overcome them.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, another thing we're also observing very much common is that some people have lost trust and faith in religion. And most of them do not really have a religious, maybe a particular religion where they belong to. And they are now, I do not want to call them pagans because that may sound very, very harsh, but really they are there now. They do not belong to any faith. They're not under the Islamic faith. You don't see them going to church. You don't see them going to any mosque. They are there. Every Friday they are there. Every Sunday for them they have nowhere to go to. Maybe what message do you have for these people who do not really have a religious belonging?
One thing is, I want to encourage that we are created in the image of God. And there is a need for you to have belonging. You must belong somewhere. And as you belong somewhere, I believe you will grow in this faith. You can't say that, for me, I don't have, it's like atheist, there's no God. you can live your life. That is not true. You have a God who is watching over you. You have a God that you need to connect to. But you cannot connect alone. You need to connect in fellowship.
Okay.
You know, coming together in all these different places is fellowship. For fellowship, you have to get to be connected. And even when in that fellowship, you need to care for one another. When you are alone, you will not care for yourself. You need somebody that you can hold your hands together. So those who feel that there is no God, I want to challenge them. There is a God. Your soul belongs to him. But you will only make it when you are able to be in fellowship. The fellowship of Muslim community, the fellowship of Roman Catholic, the fellowship of Anglican, the fellowship of even Pentecostals. That is a fellowship.
Okay.
You belong there.
Okay.
Yes, that's
So
why.
that means that all these faiths have to work together. Maybe what message do you also have for the religious leaders, because for them to really also, because people have the freedom of worship where they can really belong to. It is actually under the constitution where you can belong to any religion that you want. Maybe what message do you have for the other religious leaders, for such that you really help the society? Because why we sampled you is because as religious leaders you play a great role that is in terms of helping the society. Because at times people do not also listen to other leaders, but rather they listen to the clergy more than any other person. That's why you see when there are funerals, they always pay attention to listen to what the clergy is saying. You will listen to them very, very much attentive when they want to listen to what the clergy is saying. That means that they really also at times obey the clergy more than the rest of the leaders. So I think more than the other leaders, so that means that really there is a lot when it comes to working together. And then maybe what message do you have for the other clergy in general to see to that we have the society?
Yeah, thank you very much. In the area of working together, you know, we have different, we may believe differently, but there is that connection that we are children of God. We must be together. You can be a Muslim, you are created by the image of God. You are a Roman Catholic, I repeat again, created in the image of God. An Anglican, as a leader, we must be one. Despite your beliefs, be one. Because we are leaders. The people are looking unto us. When we get divided, the body is also already what? Divided. So when we are one, even when we go to the funeral, like now when we are for funeral, you find, you see, community, you have to introduce, welcome them, community by community. Say, Roman Catholic community, are you there? You welcome them. Where the Pentecostal, are you there? You welcome them. The Muslim community, are you there? You welcome them. You appreciate them. Because we all die together, we mourn together. We are children of God. Let the difference, difference which is say, maybe I believe in this and that, should not divide us. Because we are children of God, created in his own image.
Okay. As we celebrate, that is the Women's Week, and which is also the Women's Month, that is on March. And this week on 8th, which is on Friday, we shall be, that is celebrating the Women's Day, and one of the themes that is actually there to celebrate this day is invest in women, accelerate progress, highlights the importance of gender equality and women's, girls, and empowerment, and really their rights to healthier lives. This is actually one of the themes that is selected under this celebration. And really maybe what can you pick from the theme, and really also who is that woman that you really want to celebrate this Women's Day, as we summarize in the next few minutes?
Thank you so much. The theme is very clear, celebrating women and also looking at a girl child. I've been watching one lady. She's called Dr. Rebecca. She's the provost of World Saints Church. That lady has inspired my life. And also Dr. Olivia. These are all women who are in the vineyard. I celebrate their life and they inspired me. But above all, even all women who are passionate to see transformation in all levels. It can be in your home, can be in a community, it can be in the church, it can be all the places where the Lord blessed us. I celebrate them.
Okay.
Because where women is, there will always be order.
Okay. Is that the reason as to why we must celebrate women?
Yes.
So that is one reason you see why the Women's Day needs to be celebrated.
Seriously.
But the Men's Day also needs to be there, but it's not celebrated the way we are celebrating.
You know,
Women's
the
Day.
good news is even in the church.
You know, you talked about the boy child being very, very much neglected. And I feel also the men have been neglected, because you look at all these campaigns, most of them help women, women emancipation, women this, women that, but most of men are left out, and men continue to suffer. Maybe what can you say about the issue of men also being left out?
Originally, men was given the mandate to take all, they are really given that first mandate, but I think they lost it.
Okay.
They lost
so that
it.
is why we don't celebrate.
So
men.
now, even you have Men's Day, but you are not like women to come together easily. You know, men has ego.
It is not that. It is
They
because
stand.
I really feel men have been very, very much neglected.
They are not.
Look at all these campaigns. Even the boy child himself has been very much neglected. You look at all these campaigns, most of them actually target that is the girl child, neglecting the boy child. You talked about a future of having good men, good women and bad men, and that is soon, that is something that we may see. Because if you really look at what is happening in the trading centers, these are the boy child who are supposed to be in school, who are supposed to be doing certain things, but you find them later in the trading centers. Then you look at the men, really in most difficult times it is men whom you find under these situations, because for one reason or the other. Maybe what message can you really also preach to see that all move together, not necessarily also discriminating men, because we feel discriminated, and I must say that, because most of the time we have been left out. Maybe what can you say about certain of these things where we, the men, have been left out, the boy child has not been given that priority, just the same way it has been given the girl child. Maybe what can you put forward about that?
I think, you know, it seems to be easy to speak to ladies or girls. I realize there is that spirit, I don't know, I call it spirit, which is agitating men or even the sons, let me say sons. When you just look around, there is a way, maybe a man is the one to hold the family. So now when men are not holding family, a son is supposed to see from a father. And now a father is not available. Most of our community has single parents. So now when you see this issue of boy child, a voice of a man is needed in the house to gather the sons. But if they are not available, they are not interested to be with the family, then it affects the boy child. But now, for women, as we are now celebrating this Women's Day, we plan to, women can be exciting with anything, but men does not have excitement.
But men have excitement. Maybe
They don't have football, maybe. The excitement is for football, maybe, and partings. But women can pick. That's why even in the church you find they are full, excited. They go with stress, they dance, they come back home. And then for really to help this, that is, we need joint effort to see to it that the sons are talked to, the men are brought on board. We need to really have joint effort. As I speak, I'll be surprised when I go out in the gate here. I'll say, young boys seated doing nothing.
Okay.
And they came from home. Then you ask yourself, who is at home to help them? Did the daddy talk to them in the morning?
But the nature of men also sometimes, I think that is very, very much affecting the turn-up that is of men turning up to church. You realize that maybe if you can make a comparison between men and females, who are the ones that really turn up in church for numbers? Because you realize that at work, men are always there, committed 24 hours every day of the week. Do they even have time to go to church? And then if you are to make a comparison in your own analysis, who are the ones that really turn up to sit with that they pray for these maybe services on Sundays or Saturdays or perhaps Fridays? Whom do you see turning up in most numbers?
Most numbers I see women turning. Most numbers. Because they can be broken in the heart easily. You know, I told you men as ego, they can cover themselves when they're hurting.
Okay.
But women are open. They run. Maybe I bring this. Remember the last moment when Jesus' resurrection, the person who remained was Mary Magdalene. All the men went and came back. Okay. They lost hope. That is now on my side.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe.
Now, Mary stood. Mary Magdalene stood up to the time when Jesus came and spoke to her. And she cried looking for his Savior. Then when he said, don't cry, I am here. Go and tell my brothers they should go ahead of me to Galilee. So there is that resistance in the heart of women. They pursue things. They want to see. But men sometimes they give up easily.
Okay.
Yes.
So that issue of men giving up early does not really also remain maybe in faith, or maybe for any other person who would want to give up, what message do you have for them? Because it will not be men. It will be that lady out there who is tired of doing certain thing and really feels God is not coming to their rescue. At times people that's why people give up on God. Because after somebody praying and doing all it takes, they do not achieve it. Maybe what message do you have for such a person who is about to give up in doing one thing or the other, but really we want to also see them maybe attain and maybe achieve the success they want to? Because really at times you see somebody trying for all these years, but the person has not yet achieved and they feel like giving up. That is both in terms of what they are doing, then also giving up on God. Maybe what message do you have for such a person?
I'm encouraging someone out there not give up. God listens to us. God's answer is yes. God's answer is wait, sometimes silent, but it is already answered. What you can do is, the word of God said, those who wait upon the Lord will have their strength. They will renew their strength. So whatever you do, place God first. Either in the home, either in your businesses, either in your farm, whatever you do, let God be your light. He will surely see you through. You who have already lost hope, don't give up. There is nothing impossible with God. Wait upon him till he finishes whatever you want to do in your life, either in your family. So you don't lose hope. I know there are many who are frustrated. There are many who have left even homes. That's why we see them in streets. There are many who lost their own families. So I believe once you remain focused, it's not how all what you do at this time, but it's how you finish it.
Okay.
Yes.
So the finishing line is what matters. Meaning you can still attain something at the end of the day, even if how long it takes. There is no matter maybe in terms of achieving that. We have seen people becoming maybe rich at the age of 70s, and you is 30 years or maybe who's 25, or you feel that you can no longer achieve it. That means that really what the Reverend is saying, you can still do it. So you do not really also have to give up. Keep on praying, keep on working hard. At the end of the day, God maybe will listen to your prayers. So you need not to give up. And this goes to those who feel they can no longer do something maybe in terms of what they want to become or what they need to do. Really, I want to tell you, you can still do it, and that is what Reverend is saying. It means that there's no limitation to achieving. So you who is going through a lot, you definitely have to do something. You must continue doing. That is why the issue of persistence comes in. You must persist through these hard times. And really, I also believe that at times people say these hard times prepare you to be better people. And that is one reason why we need not to give up when you're doing something. And really, this is to somebody who is really going through a lot. You may be watching us right now, but you really feel deep inside your heart, you can no longer do it. Really, my sister, my brother, there is what the Reverend is saying, that is that you can really do it. So I think that is one reason as to why I also want to echo out my voice on that. Maybe in the last few minutes, because we are remaining with just 3 minutes to wind up with the show, and if you can be able to really also let us know maybe your final words or maybe your final advice to the public out there, that would really be quite important as we are just remaining with about 3 minutes to the break. Thank you.
Thank you very much, listeners. I'm so grateful again to be here in the studio to encourage us that let's be firm, let's fear God, let's love one another, let's care, let's work, let the different religious difference not divide us, let us be focused. God is looking for a heart that those who do not work should not eat. We should not be lazy. Let's work, and above all, take care of your family. Stand firm for your family. Take care of those boy child. Speak to them. Encourage them. Let them know God. Let them go to school. Let them learn. Let them be responsible people. Because when we don't do, we may hand over to the next generation nothing. So our day of celebration for Women's Day, we are still standing as women, united, as mothers, as caretakers. We are standing to see that we don't fall, we don't fail in whatever we do. And we want to see our homes, our institutions, and where we are fitted as women, we must bring light to those places. We don't bring darkness. God is looking for you, that one woman, to raise another woman up, to stand and allow the light of God shine us in our lives, in our homes, in our institutions, in where God has placed us to serve. Be responsible. Do not live a life of lies. Do not live a life of immorality, fornication, adultery. Leave them. Stand for the truth. You will see the blessing of God in your generation.
Amen.
Thank
you, Reverend, for coming through to talk to us and also preach the good gospel of the Lord to the viewers out there. And really, I also want to encourage maybe and also pray to God to also really make you go on longer and longer. And really, the 19 years is not easy. And really, I would also pray to see to you that maybe you continue preaching the gospel up to 50 years. That would be my prayers. And really, with that, we are coming to a short commercial break. And my name is FARISH Majid. In case you are just joining us right now, really, I must say we are now coming to a close of that discussion, but really we still have lots of topics to also let you know in the other aspects of life. And really with that, we are running for a short commercial break, and when we bounce back shortly, we shall be also able to let you know what is happening in the world of current affairs. But for now, it's a short commercial break, as I really also pave way for also the Lubarat News team to come through, as I can see them already preparing. That is to give you what is happening in the world of news that is in Lubarati language. So for those who understand the language, you must also really stay tuned, as the team is very much prepared and willing to give you what is happening in the language that could be best known to you. But for now, it's a short commercial break, and we bounce back shortly. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live. in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from that short commercial breather, and we are back. That is with the Kokoliriko live show, and remember 9 a.m. is our final destination. That is when we shall be able to solely pave way for the ALBR news team to come through and let you know of what is happening in the world of news. And remember, in the first hour we did have, that is Reverend Avi, the Archdeacon of Arua, and she also did take us through her journey as a religious leader and really some of the things that she has been doing, that is in terms of helping society. And that is one thing also really we are celebrating the Women's Day for. We want to celebrate women who have an impact on society. And remember, being that in that area of, that is the clergy, which is very, very much instrumental, that is really in terms of shaping the society. And that is why we selected her to also really come and share her opinions and her views. And then maybe some of the things that she has been doing, that is to help society. And I do also want to understand, maybe also have a feeling that you did understand, maybe also had something for yourself. That is very, very much importantly, that is in terms of helping the society. And that is one reason actually we did have her in the first hours. And really we are just remaining with very few hours now. What is happening in the other areas of news? Museveni yesterday did award the killer, the man who was actually behind the capture of the Ndiga clan leaders' killers. So I think this is one thing that we did see going on yesterday. And this incident happened, that is in Entebbe, and the President Museveni awarded, that's Abdul Katabazi, the Narubale medal for his bravery in capturing of the assassins that gunned down, that is the Buganda clan leaders, that is known as, that is for the Ndiga clan, who is actually known as, that is Daniel Bosa, who was gunned last week. And really so many people asking themselves maybe what happened and who are behind the killers. And that is something maybe the security operatives are yet to respond to. And so many people have been captured, and actually 2 did not really survive. They were lynched, that they were able to be lynched by the mob, who were actually praised by this brave border man. And he was actually also awarded, that is a motorcycle, for his brave efforts. And the award was jointly presented with the First Lady and Minister, who also doubled as Minister of Education and Sports, that is Janet Kata Museveni, on Monday, which was yesterday, during a cabinet meeting at State House in Entebbe. And the Narubale medal is awarded, that is by the President, to all civil servants, civil activists who have contributed to the political developments of Uganda, either through armed struggle or civil disobedience, and pursuant to Section 3 of the National Honours and Act, that is of 2001. And Katabazi, a plumber who also doubles as a boda operator, that is in Chikandwa zone, Luanga, that is Lunguja division in Lunguja village, that is in Rubaga division, pursued and captured the assailants who shot dead, that is Engineer Bossa, the leader of Buganda Kingdoms, that is Ndiga clan, on Sunday, that's of February of 25th of this year. So I think that is an incident that we did see going on, and where this man was actually gunned down in presence of some of his family members just a few meters away from his home. So this incident did go, and so many people were actually asking themselves why this man could be gunned down and who are behind the killings, and this is also something that is yet to be answered. And Engineer Bossa, aged 72, who was also the director of Transa Electrical, and who was shot dead in his car as he approached in his home, that is in Chikandwa zone. And during the meeting, Katabazi narrated, that is to President Museveni, how he helped with the help of other boda riders, pursued and captured the assassins. So I think it was the boda riders who joined hands and followed these people until luck was not on their side. And when they wanted to remove the gun to shoot these people back, the gun was actually also able to enter the wheels. And this is when they got accident and they were able to fall down. And the boda riders were quick to really run and also capture the gun, and they actually lynched these two to death. And that is something we did see going on, because the issue of people using guns to really do certain bad activities have been going often, and we really realize that people also use the guns for killings, and these are never brought to book. They just escape like that. If I'm to mention cases where people have been able to use guns, you realize that there are very many. First of all, the major Chigudu killings, the Ibrahim Abiriga killers, the killers of, that is Joan Kagezi, and the rest have never been brought to book. And who are they? It is not known, and it is not clear of who exactly have been behind these killings. And the issue about using guns, that in the country has always raised caution, and people are asking themselves, where did these guns come from, despite our strong security background? Where did these guns come from? And remember recently, even in a rural city where we did have the gunning down of the security guards and other people cases where robberies were done using guns. People were asking themselves questions, where these guns come from? But I do understand from this region, it is an issue related to maybe the porous border points that we have, maybe with our neighboring countries, that is of the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan, where it is believed that these guns could be entering this region from these areas here. So what about the other parts of the region? That is something that I do not know, but really we are yet following up on that. And President Museveni commended Katabazi for his bravery and fight for the notable cause, and really we also did see that happening, and now that is something that did go on yesterday. And the President for that pledged to award and support other boda men who participated in the capture of the assassins. So I think this is very, very much important, because really awarding one person, feel maybe the rest will at the end of the day feel neglected. And that is why we need to also really see them be awarded. And when they are awarded, we shall also really come back and let you know. And we do not expect the rest maybe not to feel very, very good, because once they feel neglected, they will also really not be well with that is Katabazi, who was their leader, who was able to really trail these assassins up to the last week. And that is something that we are yet following up on. And really, we are also seeing road accidents claiming 77 lives in a week. And really, me being on these roads here, really, we have to be prayerful. If you don't pray, really, you may also really be part of these 77 who could have been on these deaths that we are seeing that happened just last week alone, really, where we did witness 77 lives lost. This is quite a huge number in this country. And really, this also really goes maybe to if you have to make observance of the Kampala to Arua Highway Road, you realize that this road is not good, because up to Pakwach, I was able to travel, that is a few days ago, but you realize that the road is not in a good state. So I think if government is also able to really upgrade these roads, then definitely we may be able to also see a reduction in the cases of these accidents, which to me is very, very much important, because these accidents continue to claim so many lives, and each and every day we are registering at least one person dying, either to a boda related accident, or at least somebody is dying maybe in form of any other accident. So I think it is very, very good, maybe if government is also really to come up with other measures to see that cases of accidents are reduced, because really it is the normal person, the ordinary Ugandan, that continues to fail. That is the cases of these accidents, and at least 77 people have been confirmed dead, that is to road accidents, that is in the past week. And this is according to information from the Uganda police during their weekly reports. So I think according to police report released on Monday, that is by the traffic police, 77 people, while 399 sustained injuries from road crashes registered, that is between February 25th up to March 3rd of 2024. So I think that is something we are yet following up on. And among the dead, that is at least 34% were motorists, that is at least 22 who died out of this, contributing to 30% were pedestrians, and 7 which contributes, that is to 0.9%, were passengers on motorcycles. So being on these roads, you need to be very, very much vigilant. And that is why I also want to really call upon each and everybody who is supposed to use these roads to be mindful. And in case your border wants to do wrong overtaking, please, you have the mandate to tell them. You do not just have to sit there, because if you sit anyhow, maybe on that motorcycle and without telling them what exactly to do. And remember that border rider is the one that has your lives in his hands. And in most cases, that also, if you are to die, you die, two of you. So I think you have the mandate also to tell the border riders maybe to avoid overspeeding. And you also have the mandate to tell the motorists, and this is where those people maybe who are traveling via public means. If you feel maybe the driver is overspeeding or is not driving in a way that you feel is not right, it could maybe also put your lives in danger. My brothers and sisters out there, you have to maybe also have the mandate. I should tell you that, please tell them to reduce on the speed, or maybe tell them to drive carefully, because they are the ones that have your lives in their hands. So somebody who is recklessly driving your lives could actually make you maybe sustain the injury that we're talking about. Maybe it could actually lead you to becoming disabled. So I think you have the mandate to tell them to also avoid overspeeding. That at the end of the day would also really be quite good for people to also really reduce on the numbers of cases, maybe cases where we are seeing people also really dying into these road crashes. And the police traffic spokesperson, Michael Kananura, said on Monday they are to continue heightened operations this week to encounter the errant road users. So I think it is good. So that security also, when they are doing their things, these people who are errant are also really also protected, because really at the end of the day they are risking other people's lives. If they are going to do that, I must say really it is the road users who would be able to really face the final repercussions, because if somebody is really driving at a terrible speed like that, then definitely you continue being quietly, also continue to sit there. And then I must say, you are risking your life. You are risking your life. So that is something also really we have to really also talk about, because if at the end of the day you really realize that these accidents really, in most cases, people are saying they are as a result of overspeeding or mechanical conditions of these vehicles that are not fit to be on this road. So I think that is one thing also we are yet following up on. And I must say, we need to also really desist from these tendencies once we're on these roads. Let's be mindful of the other road users, because if you look at the pedestrians, some of them may be innocent, more so the school children who are really going to school sometimes on these borders. Meanwhile, those who are walking, and the accidents cannot spare them, and this is where we are seeing their lives lost. So I think it is very, very much important for people to really also ensure that they talk about these issues once they continue to happen. And at the end of the day, we face the repercussions, because we are leaving, that is, innocent children as orphans. We are leaving children really who are not supposed to really also remain orphans due to our reckless behaviors. For instance, overspeeding, which has been very, very much attributed to these rampant road crashes. So I think it is not good for people to really continue overriding maybe at terrible speeds. More so in this region where we are seeing motorcycles are very many more than the vehicles, and we are seeing sometimes the youths riding that is at terrible speeds, where we think that could also really risk their lives. So I think that is really something I want to call upon people of this sub-region to also really desist from the issues of overspeeding, maybe the reckless riding. That to me is not good. And really with that, we come to a closer of today's discussion. And remember, we did have, that is Reverend Alvi in the first hour, where we did also discuss her journey, that is in serving God. So I think it is very, very good as we continue to celebrate women. And remember, this week we are celebrating women. Happy Women's Day to all the women out there who may be watching us. On Friday, we shall also really be bringing for you another team. And tomorrow, we shall also as well bring for you a female. And this week is entirely dedicated to celebrating women. And we are going to be choosing at least a woman that is from each field. And remember, we started that yesterday, where we did bring for you one in education. And remember, education with a society that is not having education is really one that is really darkened. So I think for education, we did have one person yesterday, that is Ajiko Juliet, the deputy head teacher of St. John's College, Ombati. And today in religion, we sampled one, because clergy also have an instrumental role that is in shaping society. And we did have, that is the Archdeacon of Arua, that is Reverend Avi. Also, she was here to also really share her experience. And remember, tomorrow we shall be able to sort of pick for you another in another sector where we shall be able to sort of pick their experiences from. But for now, we come to a close of today's discussion. In a special way, I want to appreciate each and everybody that watched us right from the time we began, or maybe also those who joined us in the due course of the hour and really keeping it up to now. We say thank you so much. And really with that, we come to a close of today's discussion. as we pave way for the AOL as a news team to also really let you know what they are prepared for you. That is in the Lubarati language. For now, I sign out until tomorrow. Thank you so much.